Test, test. Test, test. I think it's working now, folks. Man, this has been a really great stream so far. Probably the best 24 minutes they all have ever had with Flying with Mike. Was working. All right, sorry. Yeah, Jay Drums, one of our regulars here, just chimed in. He's at work. Catches it every now and then when things slow down there, which that isn't very often. And let me know the mic wasn't working. Wow, we're just, what a great day we're having. There's a lot of things we'll maybe get into while I'm flying, is why parts of it have been as it is. You know, you can't really sit back and complain too much. So, but thanks again, Mr. Drums, for chiming in and letting me know I screwed up and my mic check worked before I went on, but oh well. These things do happen. Alright, so we're ready to start with our overhead panel. Let's get this up and running. So everything's checked. We'll turn the crew supply on. Checking, get our ground control for our recorder, voice recorder turned on. Our faults are as they should be. First ADIR to nav. It'll flash, go to a line, then we're waiting for on bat. There it is. We'll go to number 2. Same thing, going to a line, and then on bat. And finally, the 3rd. The nice thing about the Flight Factor A320, J-Drums, you won't like this, over the Zibo, these guys let me get going quicker than the Zibo does. Just me, just a personal preference. But anyway, I do like the Zibo though. It is a good airplane. Alright, so we're in a line, so we'll come back down now. We're going to set the strobes to auto because the way my day's going, I will forget to turn it on takeoff, and we'll be flying around without anything blinking on the wings or in the back where the APU exhaust is. We've already got nav2 set up here, and basically, folks, so you get an idea, I say this a lot, so if you all heard it, I know, here he goes. Out on the wingtips, you'll see 2 light bulbs, and I'm not going to take the plane, take us over to them. There's 2 bulbs, and then your strobe. It's a really bigger light. Those 2 bulbs are identical, but the difference is one is on nav1 switch, one is on nav2 switch. Both sides have them. So when you're doing your pre-flight, if you have it on, say, nav1, and one of the position lights is out, switch it to 2. If the other light comes on and they're on both sides, guess what? Away you go. Otherwise, you get to call maintenance, and if you're at my airport, that's an hour wait, which means an hour delay, which means actually more than an hour delay, because that's how long it takes for them to get to us. So, just something for you to mull over there. Something nice and simple Airbus did. That's a good thing. I don't see it on the Boeings. Maybe it's there, but I don't see it because we don't see Boeings that often. Again, seatbelts and no smoking are on. They were already turned on because of getting ready to fuel. Emergency lights are on. Now, the rest of these we don't touch. It's the landing elevation we go to next, which is this. Make sure it is in the 12 o'clock position, pointing straight up. Then we just start walking through. So we got the APU bleed on. We make sure the packs are on. Okay, available, but it's not connected. It'll say on when it's connected. Or now we're going to turn our fuel pumps on. And guess what? Now we're going to test engine 1, engine 2. Okay, good alarm. Good lights. It's telling us engine 1's on fire there, as well as here, folks, right under the master switch for engine 1. That's a good test. We're also making sure both of these say discharge. Okay. Again, 2 lights either side. Oh my, engine 2 is on fire. And the master switch for number 2 shows fire as well. Okay, good test. This is just an extra radio, don't worry about it. But I am out of order. I should have came down to the bottom. Again, Airbus goes up, Boeing goes down. Just the way it is. As we come up, I'm going to move the cargo heat. I like to run it right at 12 o'clock, and then we'll turn these 2 off to on. Now you can see how it's a little confusing to look at an Airbus panel because of everything not being telling you what it's really in. They're not lit up, folks. They're on. Pretty much how you figure it. We're not running any ice. It's pretty much automatic on here. So, all right, so we're through the overhead panel. Everything looks good. This is just an extra panel. Let's go down to the middle here. Okay, let's go ahead and click these master cautions off. Now, the big thing we're looking at here is the anti-skid nose wheel steering. That is located right across from the auto brake, right below the brake fan. Yeah, they have a brake fan on this one, or at least a button for it. Make sure it's on. Then we're going to proceed south, and both McDoos are on. Now we get to set the frequencies. Kind of a pain, but it is what it is. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. It's easier to go that way. Turn that one over here, and I'm just going to put a fun channel from when I fly on POSCON. This is the frequency we monitor in flight. Now, while I'm on nav or COM 1 here, in order to communicate on VATSIM, you have to turn the microphone on. It's kind of the same deal, you know, if you want to talk on your stream, you have to turn the mic on. You got to do it in the A320 from Flight Factor. It's a little different in the 767, and I'm gonna lay odds probably the 75 and the 777. Don't have them, can't comment. However, very simple. Turn it on. That's it. Now you'll be able to broadcast, and you can check it with your V-Pilot or with your X-Pilot, since we're in X-plane. And I'm just setting the International Guard channel up here. This is where you hear, Mayday, Mayday, we're going down. Oh wait, I gotta pull my stick up and we'll go back up. Anyway, so again, this is just another Unicom channel that I'm aware of. And like I said, the International Emergency Channel. And that, folks, gets us set up to where we get to play with these little guys right here. This one, well, this one, which will mimic onto that one. So there you, wrong button. There we go. All right, folks, so there you go. We're ready to start the meat and potatoes of this. Now, you've all seen the route. If you have not, Uh-oh. What's wrong with Sim Toolkit? Let's add that to our list. Hang on a second. Let me recycle Sim Toolkit. Oh, where are you? And just waiting for the auto connect now. Hello, Sim Toolkit. There's the auto connect. All right. Let's give that a try one more too. As they say in the industry, take two. There it is. All right. So this over just a little. All right. So McDo 1 is up. Here's McDo 2. See, they look identical. And the checklist calls them FMCs. You all can giggle. I've giggled enough at it. But to get back to this page, it's real simple. Data, AC, boom. Okay, that's all you need. Now, we're going to bring Sim Toolkit back up yet again. That way, well, we actually really don't. So, I've already loaded the flight plan into the aircraft. So, we're just going to go to the INIT. Let's put DTTA / Lima Golf Sierra Kilo. Okay. Oh, that's right. It goes off of, maybe I may be typing a lot here today. This will not be fun. Doot. There's a story. Hang on a second here. Okay, so it's going to go by those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if I can pull it up. It is going to be TUN. What's the other one? JSI. Odd 1. Oh, that stinks. Alright, well, looks like we're going to get to put it in. Alright, so hang on a second here, folks. Flight number today, MAC 0572. Put it right there. Cost index again. Anyone remember? Too late. I already got the answer. Flight level 350 for the day. That really stinks. Okay, let's get some wins. How about we do this? Next phase, wind, turn. Now, we do have to do the IRS. So we come to this page, come down to the bottom, click Align, and confirm. Boom. Now the system's actually going through. You'll see it switch to GPS primary once it's finished. And by that I mean, right now it says GPS primary lost. When it's aligned, it'll say GPS primary on both of these and both of these. But for now, let's return. Okay, so from here, we're going to click the right arrow button right there. Now, when I clicked set on the EFB. That sent the data into the aircraft computer weight systems and all. So when I click this, it should match. Like the word should. 57.4. Zero fuel weight CG is correct. 8.5 looks correct to me. And there it is, folks. See, it says GPS primary. On both, all we have to do is click clear. And clear, and that clears it up. Alright, so we've got the weights entered into the aircraft. Let me make sure I don't miss a step here. Okay, so now, this is where it gets kind of weird for me. I don't normally go to the perf page and start my performance data without a flight plan in my FMC, or in this case, McDo. We're going to follow the checklist. So, perf. See, we're putting in the V speeds. Now again, I also don't like that they don't have places for different takeoff settings and all of that. It's a little more complicated in this plane, in my opinion. That's Mike, Captain Mike, private pilot, not a commercial pilot, although I play one on TV. So the goal looks like to be 146, 146, 148. Now we're going to show how I got these here. Well, let's do that before. Shall we? Let's bring TopCat up. TopCat is the takeoff and landing performance calculation tool. And it is a payware item. It works standalone, where you can just put the numbers in, or if you have Professional Flight Planner X, which is kind of important that you catch the X at the end. Yeah, it's pretty much Microsoft only. I can't seem to be able to connect it to X-Planes, so use it as a tool instead of something we could use actually in flight like Sim Toolkit. However, we've got it loaded here. As you can see, everything other than we broke down the passengers in the back. But we're going to go up here to takeoff. We're going to click update. Once we do that and close out, it's 110 at 11. I don't think you've all seen any weather probably to date, so we'll throw that at you right now. Let's see, DTTA. Okay, so you can see, obviously runway 11 is a great choice out of here, although it is kind of variable. And we'll get to QNH later. See, these are things I wish we could plug in now, winds and stuff like that. I know I did it with the wind request, just kind of weird order to me. Okay, so we've got the updated weather. We just made sure we're on the runway we planned to use. We're going to do normal takeoff, everything, anti-ice. In the desert, I don't think we need to use one. And we're going to calculate. Takes a couple seconds and boom, there we go. Okay, so for current conditions, actually we're showing a couple of choices here. We could try and see, will it eat up the entire runway and leave us with 107 feet? Probably won't, but it'll get close. It actually does pretty good. Or do we go with the 146, 146? I'm going for the latter. I'm shooting for this one. Alright, folks, so V1, 147. Rotate, 147. Finally, 150 for V2. Alright, going through the rest of this now. Let's get Top Cat out of the way. Now also on Top Cat you can see a couple of little tidbits of information, like if you lose your engine, procedure, all the data for the runway. So, you know, it is a really good tool. And if you want to have some fun, now you have to have the actual ACAR printer next to you to be able to print up the strip to be able to put on and be in a real cockpit. But you could go to the ACAR system, which I do have online. We're not going to be using, so. All right, and there goes Top Cat. So, transition altitude. That is found on your charts. Speaking of which, there they are. Okay, so this is our departure, folks. Again, runway 11, we're on the either the DDON 2C or 3 Delta to the 8-mile mark and then out to DDON. Okay, across the top here, there's the airport elevation, and right there is your transition altitude. They match. We'll get into this a little later, but I wanted to show you where you get it. Okay. Now, the thrust reduction and acceleration, I don't have any information for this airport. Black Box has it for where we're going, but it doesn't matter on landing. Engine out as well. So we're going flaps 3 / THS is your horizontal stabilizer back there, folks. It's setting it to the for the flight, and we on the, well, actually I will show this because this is very easy to find. Maybe. Okay, so we're going to move this over for now. All right, let's go back to the perf data plan. Okay, right here was our CG, which we saw. There's our takeoff CG. Here's our trim. So we're going to type UP 0.3. And I'm sure it's going to tell me check your data. I told you. We're flexing at 65, I thought I saw. Oop, wrong. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, 65. And it's going to tell us, hey, told you, check your data. Well, we did. And it's probably because, like I said, FSX X-plane. And it's not necessarily FSX. I believe it works with the new Sim 2. Don't quote me on that. But I think it works with the new one as well. All right, so we'll put this back. All right, so that gets us to that point in the checklist. Next up is putting the flight in. So from here we go to F plan, and we're going to put in our departure, then we're going to fill it in with all of our fixes, and then we're going to do it with our arrival. So first up, as we saw, it was the DO to Charlie. Departure. The runway 11, there. Okay, moving down. Actually, in this case, you're clicking the up key. Now, here's where we get to the flight plan that's intense. Bear with me as I try to get this entered here as quickly as possible. Airways. All right, UM978. Sonak. I really thought I had this loaded. I don't know why it didn't. Okay, that takes us to whole place out. Okay, from Sonak, we're now on Airways. See, this is where I like Boeing. So much quicker. Okay, so now we're down to here. Airways. Lima 12. Or, no, 21. Right numbers, wrong way. LORAD. L-R-D. Did I get that right? D. I sure did. Okay, next up, Mike 600. Going to Denop. Really hope we're getting close. Let's see, UM 600. And YNN. All right, YNN. Okay, where I know we're getting close now. UV651. This is, I mean, it's amazing how many different airways and fixes you enter in Europe. I mean, I guess there's routes in the US similar, but I really have never came across them. And then we rounded out now I'm going to deter a little bit here. Just going to go straight to the VOR and then on our way down. Okay, so now we actually have the whole flight loaded minus the arrival. And let's see if there's any TAF saying wind change possible. Nope. Okay, so we'll go ahead, plug it in. Wow. Okay, so we're inserted. Let's do this. All right, so we've got it all loaded. So we're going to bring it up. We're going to check the flight plan now. Basically to make sure I didn't screw up. But we got to switch our EFIS to plan. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to bring up here is charts again. This way we can go through it while we're on the subject of the departure and then the arrival. That's good. I just want to make sure everything will look good here. All right, so as you can see on the departure, again, airport's 21 feet, transition 6,000. We're on the Didon to Charlie, and maximum speed below 10,000, pretty much universal. In some places it's not, 250. And requires a minimum climb rate. So we got to climb at least 365 feet per nautical mile on a 6% climb. To 3,000 feet. So they're wanting us to get up, and I think that's noise abatement. I will almost lay odds that's what that's for. So, looking real quick, we have an 8, which, of course, we don't see. 1, 2, it's 8. Gotta love it. Gives you a number, and yet you, oh, there it is. Gibble. Okay, so that's referring to this, not us. Okay. All right, so basically, folks, for the Didon to Charlie off runway 11, we're going to intercept TUC, radio 116, fly it out to distance 8 off TUC, make a left-hand turn, then intercept the 101, fly it out to Didon. Okay, so basically you get an idea of how that looks. All right, so now let's see how that's showing up here. So we'll click the up to walk our way through it. We do this all the time. We use, in Boeing, it's a step button right here. Airbus, they do it this way. There's that intercept. So far, so good. All right, so let's walk it out now and make sure there's no discontinuities or problems otherwise. Big thing we're watching are, where's our distances? We're going to basically watch it here and make sure nothing skews real badly. Okay, things looking good so far. That should be the, at this moment, projected top of descent. AGH, so we're now very close to our arrival point. There's our Iveco, no discontinuities, right? To SKP. And then we do the arrival. Okay. And everything's looking good. Nothing. And then the blue here, that's our missed approach. All right, and we'll just pull this back up, put that away. All right, and ding, 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 ding. We'll go into the chart for the arrival at the arrival. All right, folks, we are at pushback time. And guess what? We're just about to that point ourselves. All right, so no discontinuities. All right, final things we have to do here. Let's go ahead and turn you back. Come into the middle here. All right, so we need to go to Q&H. Latest was 10:15. Set on both sides. Captain Jim 8 of 8. Man, this is just a real good day for me. Captain Jim Aviators, welcome aboard. Hope you have a great day and hope your Wednesday's going well for you. Okay, so QNH is set. FD, both lit up. LS's are not. Good deal. Nav is set for ARC and ARC. Select for constraints, and basically what that means is what the FMC says for that fix in the FM or the McDo will show on your nav display. Auto throttle is on, and we got to set our altitude. Okay, dots, good to go. I'm going to go ahead and do one more step. And folks, we're ready to get this bird pushing and going. So, do a couple of things here real quick, like, oh, like, yeah, wow. Bear with me here a second, folks. I see I also forgot to get my Acres program closer to being ready. Okay, 35, ding, 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 looks good. Sounds, we just need to set in Copilot at 47 147 150. Don't think y'all would like to hear when a Piper Navajo would need the V1 VRV rotate. They're way off in our takeoff. Fueling. What the heck is going on? Okay. Oh, well. All right, so speaking of that, let's go back to that contraption, shall we? The EFB, let's get everything away from it. So we're going to remove our cargo loaders or baggage loaders. Let's go ahead and close the door. Remove the fuel truck. Ground, might as well get rid of it all. And I'm just setting it up for the weather radar from here to where we're going, so we can kind of see it as we go. And let's say goodbye to the jetway. Get better pushback on its way.
Ground cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
I think I'll do that.
Ground cockpit, tow is driving up.
There's the tug. So we're just about ready to get rolling here, folks. Alright, so the doors are, well, we're going to do a quick look outside. Take him a couple seconds to get positioned, as well as get the nose gear lifted up. All the doors and hatches are closed, chocks are removed. We're ready to go.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Cleared to connect. Beacons on. Tow vehicle set. Better path. Better pushback on scene. ACAR's running. We are cleared to push when he's hooked up. And that gives us a second here to pop over to... Okay, make sure no ATC popped up in our area, and it looks like it has not. So we don't have that on our worry list at the moment.
Tow connected and bypass been inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright folks, here we go. Pushing back, we're about 7 minutes late. Bummer.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Cat Cold, welcome aboard. Hope you're having a great day. Okay. Alright, let's light these engines up, shall we? Not much to it, folks. We'll move here into the center panel, or into the lower panel. We're going to turn the ignition switch, or the mode to ignition, and then all we're going to do, lift up number 2. And then we're going to just watch the pressure come on, and then it'll slowly start doing its thing. Okay, there it goes, spooling up. Little further to go.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, so we got engine number 2 fired up. Let's go back down, switch up. Number 1, there goes the valve. And it's starting to spin the N1 blades. N2 is coming up. And they'll be putting fuel. There comes the fuel flow. And a good light off. Okay, we're just waiting for it to stabilize, and then we'll continue on with the engine start. A couple of more steps afterwards before we get ready to taxi.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
And thanks for flying with Mike. Alright, that avail is what we're looking for. We missed it last time doing a lot of other things. Basically, when it says avail, you could technically start in on number 1 or number 2, however you want to start them up. I always start with number 2. Let me look over here. Cool, there's our pin right there in that guy's hand. Alright, we're good to go. Okay, engines are spooled up. Alright, so we're going to come back down here, put that engine mode back to norm. Then we're going to head up top, Okay, make sure your packs are on. Here's what they look like off. We'll turn the APU bleed off and the master off. Perfect. And finally, all right, so again, we have to come here. I keep forgetting to reset that. Okay, so the brake fan's on. Auto brake at max. That's the reject takeoff equivalent in Boeing, folks. Down here on the bottom panel, turn the weather radar to 2 this time. And we'll keep everything there. Squawking 2000. TA. Also, one thing here. Real quick, if you get a controller saying, and you're in the Airbus especially, okay, we'll talk about it in the 7.6 and the other aircraft, but basically you have to turn your transponder on. However, in this plane, it's a little quirky, if you will, because in my opinion, it's already on. But if you get a controller that says, hey, you're not squawking mode C like you're supposed to, come to your transponder. That's this area right here. Come to this switch. Yes, standby should mean standby. Auto should mean on. No, it doesn't. Switch it to on. Boom. He'll come to mode C. He'll get in his happy place. And then I'll set for TA right now. We'll set for TARA at the runway. All right, so now back down here, let's set the spoilers and arm them. Set the flaps to 3. Parking brake can come, well, let's, yeah, we'll get the parking brake. And we're gonna start rolling. Yep, there we go. Taxi light on. Runway light on. And away we go, folks. Heading for runway 11. We're going to kind of ease on down the road here. Okay. See what our route's gonna be. Okay, we'll head out of here. Gonna make a left on Echo. The big Marcus is in the room, folks. Welcome. Hope you're having a great week. Now, TopCat is a program I use. We used to have a nice program we could go over and get data for the Airbuses, but it's gone, and I don't know why. Well, they just, I guess, who knows why. But anyway, it's no longer. So I use a program called TopCat. It's a payware program. Real quick to show here. Oh, wrong page. TopCat, there it is. And basically you just, fill in the data on the weight and balance page, come to takeoff and click update for the current weather, set your runway and your parameters here, click compute, and it'll give you your flex, your flaps. Trim is, next time maybe I'll use what they give me instead of the other data I get, just out of curiosity. So, but that's where I get the data from. That's why it's a hot day, so I kind of see why they would want flaps 3, but I also know flaps 2 or 1 on a 9,000 foot runway should work. But again, I'm not a real world commercial pilot. I only play one on TV. All right, let's make this nice turn here. Not a problem, man. Not a problem. I just use that. I might just take off, because every time I plug the data into the McDo for flaps 3 / whatever my trim is, it always says check your data, check your data. And maybe I need to use that data and see what happens if I don't get that message. Because I used to, with that old website, to not get that message. But I guess we ought to check our control surfaces here real quick. And switch this to, oh, it's there, okay. Okay. And here we come. Let's get slowed down a little. Whoa, whoa. All right, we'll do our takeoff check here once we get stopped, just to make sure. Actually, I can do it right now. Takeoff check being the takeoff config check. It's that last blue item right on the checklist here. And we're normal. Good deal. Okay, that is a debatable issue. I do know I may not be considered normal. That was weird. All right. So, final checks before takeoff. Takeoff confirmed. Cabins ready. Packs 1 and 2. They say off. We leave them on. Landing lights will turn on. Transponder. Here's where I turn it over to TARA. Things good up here. And alright, so one last check to make sure nobody snuck in on ATC on me that way and that way. Okay, good. We're cleared. We're cleared. Yes, I'll be nice and try and remember to tell people I'm getting ready to take the runway. I think I may really have to reset these cameras because, man, I can't hardly see. There we go. Looks clear that way. And clear in that direction. Tunis traffic, Mac Air 572. Departing runway 11. Give a couple seconds, and here we go. Brakes released. Strobes on. Wings on. Okay, so let's get that cleared and put you on perf.
Approaching 1-1.
Oh, thank goodness she said the right runway. Folks, always make sure, both in the sim where it's not so much a big deal, but definitely for those of you real worlders, make sure you're on the right runway. There have been a lot of really bad disasters. Crews thinking they were, and they ended up on the wrong runways. The most easiest way to tell,
On runway 1-1.
besides her, is when you line up, that nav display ought to be 1-1 or very close to it. Just putting that out there for you folks. Alright, landing lights all the way on. Taxi lights on. Transponders on TARA, and we're cleared for takeoff. 50% on power. Stable, going to flex. Pushing the stick down just a tad while she accelerates. I don't think we're going to have 172 feet of runway left like Top Cat said. This thing's really galloping down the runway here.
V1, V2.
Oh yeah, we got 3,000 feet, I think, is that mark there. And gear up. Set that. Do a little side shift over here to the left a little. Stay with my flight director.
Gear up.
And away we go, folks. All right, and I'm going to set climb. And speed-wise, I'm going to go ahead and go at least to 2. I'm going to go ahead and let the autopilot take it from here. I think we can go to flaps 1. There we go. And let's look out. Pretty good scenery here. And away we go, folks. All right, let's get into the after takeoff, shall we? I know I'm a little behind. All right, so we're throttle climb, nose lights. They'll stay on to 10,000. They've actually turned off. Flaps are 0. We need to get the spoilers down. Did I turn the brake fans on? Yes, I did. Turn those suckers off, and there we go, folks. At 10,000 feet, we'll switch the switches off. And just past transition, so we click the bottom half of the knob here. You see how the finger, you got the little pointer finger there pointing up and then pointing down. So the bottom half sets you into standard. that's taken care of. And we'll just continue on here, folks. It's about an hour and a half away. You haven't got the ETE up because I haven't yet to refresh that. Let's see. Ding, 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 ding. Dun, 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 dun. It's like 2 hours and 11 minutes. So there's our intercept point for heading out to Dodon. And on our way towards what they tell me, I'm gonna find out. Somebody's gonna get hurt if they told me wrong. No, just kidding.
10,000 feet.
This is the, if you will, the St. Martin-like airport of Europe. So we're gonna find out. Put it to the test, as they say. All right. Which one is it? I always forget. It is that one. Okay. All right. Again, we'll take some outside look here as we we just crossed 10,000. Lights are off. They are. Okay, good. All right, now we'll continue to look outside. Off to the left, the Med. And in front of us, and then most of Tunisia behind us. All right, so let's take a look in here and make sure there isn't anything else left to be done. Other than I am going to reset something on the fly. I don't like doing this, but I have to. Okay, I think I can handle that one now. Alright folks, we are out over the Med now. Working our way towards the Skiathos, Greece, I believe is the name of that island. Which I've referred to many times as, I have been told, it is the St. Martin-esque like island over here in Europe.
18,000 feet.
18,000. Seat belts are all we got left. All right. What I am going to do here real quick, pull this out. Going to do a quick system check as we're climbing out. Problems. And all we're doing is making sure all the valves look good here on the pressure page. Moving to the electrical. Don't see any problems there. Same with hydraulics, look good. Fuel, we are off a little. Not much. So let's get up top there and set that correctly. Cross feed on first. We're going to turn the left side off and let the right side fuel the both engines for now. And then when we become even, we'll turn everything back reversed. Almost there. Okay, we're at 60, so we'll turn these pumps back on. Cross feed will close. And just realize, folks, with the Airbus, the cross feed is not meaning it's going to take the fuel from the right side or the left side, from the side that's heavier to the side that's lighter. That's not what it's going to do in this airplane. In this airplane, you turn those fuel pumps off on the lower, the one with the less weight, allowing the one with the more weight to push the fuel to both engines, hence bringing it down to the weight of that one quicker. Then you turn them back on and they both burn at about the same rate. Okay, so we're at fuel. Let's move to the APU, which is off. Correct. Okay, here's your temperatures in the plane, all Celsius, as you can see up here. Not sure how to set this one. Okay, door page, everything's armed. Slides are armed and ready. Doors closed. Cockpit oxygen looks good. Wheels are closed. Brakes look good. And finally, all of our surfaces look good. Okay, and that concludes that. Oops. Yeah, I like that position a lot better. I'm glad I did that on the fly. May tweak it here and there, but overall I like it. All right, we're through 23,000, folks. On our way to 35,000 and a... Oh my, did it just update big time? Looks like an hour and 14 minutes. Yeah, like we just cut off an hour of our flight time. Holy mackerel. We'll see. Now I pretty much fly these, but we're on our way. Folks, we are on VATSIM. There is a bot, if you will, I have set up. I don't know if you want to call it a bot, just a timer. That'll, when it comes up, if you click on it, it'll let you see where on the SimAware map we're hiding. In plain sight. Didn't you all know that's the best place to hide from people? It's in plain sight. Oh, the big Marcus is already in there with the prediction. Never been to this airport. This looks like a fun one. It's a 5,000 foot runway. I forget what it was in meters. We'll look at it here in a moment. Looks like fun. At least St. Martin, I think, is 8,000. But, you know, we landed at Gibraltar. That's about a 5,000 or 6,000 foot runway too, so looking forward to it. Okay, we're through 25, 10 to go. And we'll get some music going on in the background here. Off the Pretzel Rocks, this is Conspiracy Theory. Set some things up here for long flight. Alright, so just getting into the 30s now. Oh, just looking at the new wave pretzel rock slips. Alright, making that big old turn here. We're heading for... Hang on a second. I've got something... Huh, wonder why SimToolkit doesn't tell you. Wish it would kind of follow along. But anyway, I think we just crossed Sonak heading to Dobox. Headed towards Lorad, okay, and then we're going to be heading up to, let's just kind of do it this way. And we've reached top of climb. So we're at 35,000 feet, folks. Let's, attention in the cabin. Thanks for flying Air Berlin today, folks. We have leveled off at 35,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and turn that seatbelt sign off while you're in your seats. Keep your seatbelts fastened for your safety. Never know when we'll hit a nice bump of turbulence or flying with Mike spills his coffee and hits the stick. But anyway, we thank you for flying with us. Please pay attention to your stewardesses and stewards, as they're here also for your safety. Well, have a great day.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Would you please repeat it?
that was really weird. My phone turned on and Siri's telling me she didn't understand what I just said. I think it made perfectly good sense. Man, I tell you, automated systems interrupting us like that. Alright, well, let's see here. Well, according to everything we got here, folks, it's an hour away, so now's the time to grab that popcorn, grab that beverage of choice. Unfortunately for me, it's H2 Agua. So, and we'll begin setting up for the arrival here shortly. I have to admit, there are some interesting songs here on this Pretzel Rock's epic station, but you know, they do fill the slots well here. Folks, we are currently at 35,000 feet. You can kind of see, as we talked earlier in the stream today, the lights here. You got your strobe, you got your nav 1 light, nav 2, or vice, however we're here. So, but it's I really love flying this plane. You know, the planes I have in my hangar, I really do enjoy them. The 767 is always fun, especially when we can take it across the ocean. We're sitting in Ramstein with one of them. The other one in Lima, Peru, slated to head up to Bogota later this week. So we'll see how we turn that out. Then we're also going to pull out the Citation later on and get some more flight time with it. That'll make one of our first members of the channel, J Drums, a little happy, since he's the biz jet man. But I also enjoy that Navajo. Folks, that Navajo is so fun to learn. I'm really trying to get a better grip on X-Planes trim and all of that. V1 simulations videos are helping a lot. We just need to take a day and just seriously practice and see if we can't overcome this trim issue. So, now granted, he also has a couple hundred more hours than I do, probably a couple thousand real world than I do. Plus, I feel the real world trim versus Airbus or X-plane or night and day, and you'd expect it. So, but those aircraft are all fun to fly. Now, I do have a 747 in the fleet. I haven't flown her in about 2 or 3 months, so I may have to unleash it and fly it somewhere here soon. And it's the one from Sparky 43. So, the 747-400. But for now, we're just rounding Sicily out there in the distance. Then pushing into the Adriatic. Alright, we're showing about 55 minutes. Let's see what the McDoos are churning up here for us. Alright, distance 512, top of descent 393. Get it a little closer in and then we'll get things worked through, y'all, let y'all see the arrivals. So just kind of sit back, relax, feel free to, folks, plenty of airports. If you want to come up, head over there to, I've got to look at it, folks, because I really don't like butchering people's countries and islands. Skiathos is best I can do with the words here. Greece. And that's Lima Golf Sierra Kilo. So Alexandros Papadiamandis Airport. I hope I did that last. The first part I think I did Alexandros. The Papadiamandos, I hope Demandis, sorry, get that correct. And try and get in there. We'll be shooting an NDB approach, albeit off the McDo. So we'll see. Hopefully most of this will be visual and fun to bring it in. So stay tuned, folks. In about an hour, we'll actually see. In about 20 minutes or so, we'll start that arrival brief. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the serenity of being on the sim, and you all have a great day. Alright, folks. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick break, grab some water. Keep me hydrated here while I go through this stomach flu stuff and all. Alright, yeah, it's been a fun week with it. Believe me. Ugh. Don't wish this on anyone. And this brat diet, ugh. Get that. Man, I really hate that. Bananas, rice, apples, which I really hate apples, and toast. So, oh well. This too shall pass, as one of my favorite on-screen characters once said, Sherman Potter, Colonel, U.S. Army. Alright, so right now we're showing 49 minutes here on Sim Toolkit. Kind of look here again. About 3:19. I'm gonna let this song roll on. I'm gonna eat a bread diet. Well, kind of fudging a little. Grilled cheese sandwich, but you know, it is bread. But I've got to have something a little more than just those things, so we'll be right with you folks. We'll be right here on the side here for just a few more minutes, and then we'll get into the arrival brief. All right, well, let's give that a wrap on the music here for now. Hopping into the cockpit here. About 270 miles out. Now, we already have the approach set up, put into the system. We're just going to go through it one more time, just so that we're all familiar and on the same page. Okay. So, let's bring charts back into the game here. Get on the right one. Okay, now here is our arrival chart. Now, if those of you that watched yesterday as we flew up in Alaska, we couldn't use these JEPs. There weren't any JEPs available for the arrival there at Non-Dalton Airport. So we changed and went to the ones the FAA provides on SkyVector and used that for our GPS approach. That's the only one we could find. So, however, here, technically, there is a sort of kind of star into Skiathos, Greece. So basically, with our flight plan the way it is, actually we won't, we'll keep it up there for now. We won't be seeing its, walk its way down. We're gonna be coming into, actually, you know what, Sim Toolkit. Well, go with this route for now. I was thinking of better ways to show this to you. We'll just switch over to plan real quick. Okay, we're heading up right now towards Yankee November. Then we'll come south, our top of descent, this hockey stick right here, and then Lucis will be on our way down. AGH is where we turn and head for the island. Okay, that's where we join the Whiskey 58 that you see on the charts. That's what I was trying to figure out how best to show it to you. So, Whiskey 58 has Eviko, EVIKO, as one of its fixes. So that's where it starts. So let's kind of stair-step our way through. Okay, there's AGH, and you see there's that westward turn. We're on the Whiskey 58 now to Eviko. Alright, now Eviko has us here on the FMC at 6,700 feet. Let's verify that with the chart. Alright, no, doesn't look like there's any speed or altitude restrictions. Of course, my favorite line in all of aviation, especially the sim world, transition level by ATC. Really? Okay. That's best you could do. So, but anyway, we're going to come in Whiskey 58 to Eviko, then Eviko to SKP VOR, and that's where we'll enter our approach. Now let me do some things here to make this hopefully a little better to see. Okay, so we're at the limit point. I guess 10,000 feet. On. And there. Okay. Set it up here. There you got a Eviko to SKP. So back on charts, we'll switch over to... And now the weird thing is I could not pull an NDB up on this, which is weird. So we're going to fly, and it looks just like it, folks. I'll be totally honest. So we're going to fly this one. It's LCTR runway 1. Guessing LCTR local control. I don't know. But anyway, one thing, remember how I said how such a cop-out by saying transition level set by ATC? Well, if you go to your arrival chart, it tells you. 4,000 feet. Very lame. It's just something that always kind of torques me off. And I'm sure these are real-world charts in some place, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. So, but real quick, just like any other chart out there, folks. Okay, we got our approach frequency and our tower, if we have it. This is like, I'm going to say the NDB. Yes, it is. Oh, that must be the way they... why are they calling them LCTRs instead of NDB? Oh, well. Final approach, 08 degrees, 008. No final approach fix. Our MDA is 1,600 feet, or 1,594 or 91 feet above sea level, or ground level. And again, 54. Now, interesting now, realize we're going to be going uphill pretty somewhat significantly here. Going from 9 to 54 feet, so it is an uphill run. Shows our missed approach, which is real simple. We're just going to climb out 2,500 feet, then turn right to the VOR SKP and continue climbing in hold to 4,000 feet, and we'll be holding there. It'll be, that's, I think, a direct entry, so we'll be able to go right into the left-hand turn and enter the race course. Okay, so we're going to come in from Iveco to SKP, but we're going to start turning prior so that we can cross, which we've got marked as Delta 203C at 4,000 or higher. VOR is at 4,000 or higher. Track out on the 203 heading to distance 10 or D203J. There, we're going to turn inbound. Now, this one is showing 2,000 feet, which matches up. And then going to come out, roll out on a heading of 008, direct FQ01. Okay, now FQ01 is our go, no-go point. According to the vertical here. 1,600 feet, you should see the runway. We're only 5 miles, less than 5 miles out, folks. So, so hopefully this will come together real easy. Now, the good thing here is from the missed approach point to LCTR, which is, I don't get why they call it that, but anyway, the beacon. We have this chart here to help us. What descent rate matches a 3 degree descent? So depending on our ground speed will depend what we do here. Probably around 140, so about a 750 to 800 foot a minute descent usually puts you on that. We always have the ILS to do it for us. We're doing it for it now. Okay, the runway itself has Pappies on the left, and here's our missed approach again. Circling is not authorized. To the west, I'm sorry, let me reread this. Circling to land is not authorized going west. You have to go east. I was going to say, that's kind of weird. And then you got the minimum for that. So, there's our chart portion of the brief. Okay, let me bring us back to land arc. Let's back out to 80. Go ahead and remove that. Now, we're going to bring in TopCat last time. Well, maybe. You may pull it up here and there to make sure things are good. Alright, so with TopCat now, we're going to be landing on runway 1. So let's go ahead and switch that to there. Again, remember, TopCat is your takeoff and landing performance calculation tool. Okay, so it does both. Okay, so 5,341 feet. Folks, we're going to be on those binders, so that brake fan is going to be working its little butt off. So we're going to go ahead and plan a medium ready to get on them. Can't do an auto land. And let's do the update to the weather here. Okay. Looks like winds are 200. Oh, man, they're switching. I knew they were going to do this to me. I just knew it. Well, it's only a 3-knot tailwind. Man. I looked at the TAF just to be safe before we pushed. And sure enough, still saying fair. We're going to stick to our plan of runway 1. So we'll take the 3-knot tailwind. It's going to be that bad, I don't think. Okay, so then with all this data in, because this is much of the data we're going to put into the McDo about 80 or so miles out. And again, our approach speed will be 136. So from the missed approach in, we'll be at 136, touching down at 131. If I do it right. Now, the actual landing distance we'll need is 3,844 feet. Leaving us, in theory, 1,500 feet-ish of runway. In theory. So, we'll see how that works out. So, I'm going to write those down real quick. So, hang on a second. Pick those up. Find a place for them so they don't do that again. There we go. Alright, so we're looking at VREF 131, VAP 136. Okay. So let's get TopCat out of here and let's see where we stand. About 292 out, 173. We're slowly but surely getting it. Yeah, this is going to be a great approach. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I like shooting the one into St. Martin over there in the Caribbean, but that one's actually really easy. Just kind of nerve-wracking at the end, but not even nerve-wracking. It's not that hard. This one, a little bit of a challenge to it. So, and the good thing is the weather said clear, so we'll see if it actually shows up as clear. Alright, well, with, what do we got, 165 to go, let's go ahead, we're going to run one more song. And we'll be on the approach here, and on the setup for the McDo's internal information like the QNH, the winds, the temperatures. here in, well, at the end of the song here in about 4 minutes. Or maybe a second song, we'll see. But folks, thanks for flying with Mike. If you like what you're seeing, please, by all means, we'd love you to fly along with us. Like I said, later this week, we're going from Lima, Peru, up to Bogota, Colombia. And then, if able, over the weekend, I hope to take the Citation to a nice little mountain resort in North Carolina. So, stay tuned, folks. Click follow so you get the email updates letting you know we're live. So, we'll just kind of continue the cruise here and to up the Med and into the Adriatic Sea. Alright, folks. I think we had enough fun with that song. I love that song, actually. Let me pull that back up here real quick. The new sheriff in town, Frontier Survivors, the album, Utho Riley. Thank you. A great song indeed. Well, folks, I know we're getting close because there's Greece right ahead of us. And hang on a second. On top of my stomach problems, I have sinus problems. Ugh. You know, it's what you get when you turn 56, folks. You start falling apart. Alright, so let's hop into cockpit here and see if we can't pull ourselves together and bring this in for a landing. Alright, so we are 98 miles from top of descent, as you can see on this McDo, and about 215 overall. So, we're going to hold just a couple more seconds here. I don't want to start in on the data too quick, because as we're seeing, it's always in flux. Weather never wants to stay the same more than an hour. That's why we have METARs every hour. So, here we come into Greece. Let's see. We'll look at Sim Toolkit here. KRK. I know I've used that fix on a lot of trips. Yeah, it helps to be able to sleep at night too. But yeah, I've used that a lot on sim trips here as well. KRK. So yeah, it's always fun to see them from a different angle. So instead of going up into the Adriatic Sea, we're out over the Med still. I thought we were in the Adriatic. It's past the little boot off of Italy. That slot up there is the Adriatic Sea. So let's see here. 87. All right, let's go ahead and get the McDo pulled up. We'll use this one. You can use whichever one you want, but we are going to go to the perf page. Couple things real quick here. We do not want to click. We get to where we're going to start down. We don't want to click approach phase then. What that's going to do is set you up for your descent at 100. No, it's not going to set you up. You're going to descend, and the aircraft is going to slow to your F speed, which we'll see here momentarily. So we'll do this probably as we come over SKP, turning south as we start into the approach. Now, if you're gonna do it early, then simply come off manage speed, manage it yourself. That way it won't take it over. Alright, so look at all those big mountains ahead of us. Wow. We are still at 35,000. Okay. Just want to make sure we didn't somehow find our way down to 3,500. So we're going to go next phase. Next phase. And here's where we're going to plug in that information. Now, to me, this is where Airbus excels over Microsoft. Look at all this data we're putting in for our landing. How much do we do on the Boeings? If what we do on the Boeings is like the real plane. Yeah, nothing. We push a button. That's it. So, all right. So, oh, you know what? I need to do something here. Like disable that, turn that on. But we're going to go ahead and push it. Gosh. LGSK. Okay, latest METAR is 1016. Okay. Temperature shows 24. Winds variable. We'll go ahead and plug it in. That way the airplane's ready for it, but kind of silly. All right, so what would happen is your aircraft, if you clicked approach speed, remember how I said it's going to go to F speed? It's going to go right to this. And you're going to drag that speed all the way in, unless you come off managed speed. So that's why we hold off on it. Okay, transition level is incorrect. It's 4,000 per the chart. Although, in this situation, what's 1,000 feet? To be literally honest with you folks. The approach, how close are we? Where is my... It's actually the 2 knots off. We'll go with it. Not going to make changes. Okay, now the MDA. Bring the charts page up one more time for you. And zoom in. Okay, remember that was up here in this second line. MDA. You can either put 1600. That's all we have is 1600. Okay, we only have that one. We are now configured on the McDo. So we can go back to what we were on. And by the way, this one is too. So I think I'm going to flip them. There we go. All right, now we're about 50 miles out. So what we need to do is set up our get rid of that. And we need to set up our descents, what we're going to descend down to. What's going to be that hard altitude we're heading down to. I want to say I thought it was somewhere near 5,000. $4,000. We'll head down to 5,000. Let me check one other thing. The other thing is MEA in the area. Okay, we can go to 65, 35, 6. Okay. Okay, so we're good to come down. We're going to come down to 5,000. So we'll set that here. Oops, went too far. There we go. Not yet. It's off the dot because we're not set yet to come to that level. I'm going to let it make the turn. And then begin tracking down. Coming up to Yankee, November, here in about 6 miles. According to Sim Toolkit, we are 17 minutes from arrival. Yeah, it does look pretty good. You know what? Got a couple seconds. Let's get out there and take a look. Might be some good screenshots. And you know what? I haven't done this in a while. You know, one thing, the Big Marcus, you don't have to worry about what you call me, except one thing. Don't call me late for dinner. Okay, this week maybe because of my stomach issues, but normally don't call me late for dinner. All right, let's do something here. Even if I'm late, I don't care. There we go. All right. All right, so we're really close to top of descent now, 20 miles out. Any point now, folks, you feel like you want to descend, you can. The aircraft will not descend on its own. So you'll have to initiate it. But let's do a quick run of the checklists real quick here. Gotta figure out where I am. Whoa, why am I missing something here? Okay, so we got our Q&H set. We don't have to worry about an ILS. Seatbelt signs will come on. Star set. And we'll set the descent. I think it's the clicking to the bottom. I'm gonna wait for it to get around 10 from our top of descent. Right now it's 16, so we'll let it push in a little further. All right, let's go ahead. There we go. It was the up arrow. So you just push with the up arrow there, get the managed descent signal there with the dot, and it starts descending. Now, what the plane is going to do now, with the onboard computers and navigation systems and all of that, it is going to work itself, even though we started early, and this green dot is what it is set as its optimal spot. But since we've told it to descend, it's descending, but it's descending kind of shallow at this point. It's going to catch up to that point, that green dot right here at this blue squiggly line. At that point, then the aircraft will go into a slightly steeper descent and make your descent constraints as you have along the way, if any. Like in this case, we don't really have any. So we are now starting down through 34,000. And next, around 25-ish is when I'll turn the seatbelt signs on. But I've already alerted the flight attendants that we are descending, so they can start doing what they do to get the cabin ready, so that when I tell the people to get your butts in your seats, lock yourselves in, they do it. Oh wait, it's not that harsh. A little bit of fog down here, man. That's what it looks like to me. Take a look. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Very nice scenery X-Plane has done. I can't imagine what X-Plane 12 is going to be like, especially. Now, I've heard some people tell me don't expect Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 scenery, but expect improvement. I don't know how to take that. So I like the enhanced scenery they've done on the new sim. I don't have it for a myriad of reasons. Not worth getting into here. But they're doing a doggone good job here at X-Plane. I got my issues with them in more of the flight dynamics and all, but working on that. We'll get that all worked out here eventually. Only been flying X-Plane for a year, folks. So up until then, I was on FSX, folks. The one everyone said, "Oh, it's trash." Yeah, it was. It was crappy. To a point. I actually, with the computer I had before it ran out of memory here last month, you know, it was doing really good, but it took a lot of getting, you know, it had to have some oomph to it to make it work good. I never tried prepared, so I can't tell you about prepared. But I came over to X-Plane because of J Drums and gave it a try. And, you know, it's not bad. When I tried it in X-Plane 6, oh, it sucked. I immediately left it, said, this is a toy. And when I came back, I was totally expecting a toy still, and nope, it's actually pretty good. So if PMDG would come over and seriously try to make what they do work in this environment, I think that this would exponentially explode. Explain. Okay, so now we've crossed that blue squiggly line. How you can tell is this green ball is back where it belongs, in between these two gold bars. Not these two, well, it could be, but still, that's your optimal, that's showing you you're on the path. It's very similar to the guys that fly the Boeing aircraft. Right over here, you'd have a scale with a diamond on it going up and down. It's identical to that. So, and actually the 737, it's been a while, I'm going to be flying Zebo here soon. I think they got a triangle that goes up and down before your ILS that you can know you're on path to. Because then it'll go to the diamond like we're all used to. Yeah, this is a beautiful plane. Flight Factor has done a pretty good job. I know I've heard Tunis in these, what I call baby buses, the 319, 320, 321. The Tunis aircraft, the 319 and 21, are better. What that means, better, I don't know. I also know there is a mod out there, Motivia, I think it's called, mod for the Flight Factor that gives you the IAE engines and some, whether it's upgrades or additions, I don't know. So I'm gonna stay away from the mod because I tried a mod in the King Air. Ooh, wow. It's a good aircraft. He did a great job, but boy, you got to be careful. You're gonna put the plane on fire. That's how good I was, man. I put her on fire. Smoking hot. Oh, man. But overall, it is a good plane. I mean, the guy did a great job. And, I mean, it looks 10 times better than the default King Air. But, boy. That was yeah, there's some things you got to get used to in that plane, but overall, he did a good job. I haven't flown it in a while. I need to also get that one back in the air. But, yeah, you got to be careful, especially on those throttles, folks. Wow. All right, so I am not sure what we're going to be looking for here, folks. So let's see, there's the 18,000. I'm going to go ahead and bend nice. Time to put your seats on. Put your seat belts on. Okay. Looks like we got a little airport below us we're flying over. Pull that up on the map here real quick. That must be I ain't even gonna try to pronounce that. Okay. Alrighty, so I already botch a lot of people's names up pretty badly. I don't want to go in and keep botching things up, so I just let it go. Somehow, I thought I set the time on this thing to where I was not going to run into a nighttime approach. That's what I get for thinking. Yeah, I did set the time. Oh, man. Yeah, yep, that's what I get. Yeah, my goal was to try to land this thing in all daylight so I could see it for the potential visual approach. Lo and behold, it's getting to be sunset. Well, we should get in with daylight, so just find that kind of amusing. Alright, so let's start getting this set a little tighter on our nav display. It is a beautiful night though here, wow. Wow, parallel runways. Neat little airport there. Looks like an interesting approach from the west. Maybe, may not be, hard to tell. Obviously an easy one from the east, right over the bay. And out there somewhere is our island. Which one? I have no idea. Now let's take a look at the map. Maybe it'll fill me in. Okay, so this is right here. I'll have you looking at it too. Maybe. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so let's bring it in. Alright, well right now we're into high altitude look here on sim on Sky Vector. Get the right words out of my mouth here. So you can see this peninsula right here, island here. I guess we're landing right on this side of the island. Wow. And you guys can't really see where I was just pointing. It was basically right about in here. Yeah, you're not seeing it, so. Okay. But, yeah, this big island right here, so. Alright, so there. So right pretty much dead ahead, we're going to fly over. The VOR, I believe, is on the next island.
10,000 feet.
Then we make our turn. So, interesting definitely is the word of the day for that. Okay, lights are on. They're on. Okay, approach checklists. Okay, Q&H. Cannot be set yet. Still got to get down to, what did I set for? 4,000? So, any ice not needed, runway and the lights are set. Oh, we need to turn them on now. Okay. We're not going into ILS mode. Auto brake is going to medium, which is right here. And we'll start the flaps probably, well, oh, I got the airport now in sight. You don't see it, it's right up in here, folks. It's like, some spoilers, it looks like. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take it out of managed descent or speed. All you did is you just click again with the down. Now you got the speed. We're going to go ahead and set for 240. Get our speed brakes off. Okay. Not going to arm up yet. Let's take a look at this from above. Really can't imagine living on an island. Oh, that does look like a short runway. Wow. Holy Toledo. This is gonna be fun. That's all we got to say. So, there's where we're going, folks. Like I said, it's 5,500 feet, right at the minimum lengths. I'm gonna go ahead and set to 20 now. That's 6,000. I am gonna go for 4,000. Okay, and let's go ahead and start slowing. Okay, and then out of the turn, we need to begin coming down to 2,000. So when we go into the turn, I'll set to 2,000. Alright, so there we go. Radar's looking clear. So do the skies. Alright, folks, here we go. We're going to be pretty sterile here. Hopefully I'll be able to talk, but I get kind of focused here when we're in an unusual approach like this. Okay, lights are on. Strobe flaps will be good. Brake fan, I'm going to turn that on now. That way I don't forget it. We're going to keep the spoilers because now I'm slowing to 1. Slow to 200. At green dot, I'm going to punch out. Okay, and standard. $10.16. Might even turn this the lowest I've ever had it. Now we're going to arm the spoilers. LGSK traffic Mac Air 572, turning final runway 1.
$2,500.
Okay. Gear down. Brakes, brake fan. Spoilers armed. Okay, let's go into approach mode.
Gear down.
Okay, we're going to slow to 136. Okay, got the runway in sight. Lights are on, lights are on. All right, folks, here we go. Okay, and we're at just slightly above V approach of 136. Roll in on final approach. Guess what? I'm taking over.
100 above. Minimum. $1,000.
Flaps, flaps.
500.
Unstable, unstable.
400.
400.
300.
300.
We're going to go around. Mac 572 is going around too fast.
gear up.
Well, we'll give her a try again. And Mac Air 572's over SKP, second attempt into Skiathos. Okay. All set. Still set up. I'm glad when I'm all by myself. Alright. No, we don't want to hold. Didn't say hold. From this point, let's go direct to the J. Come down to 2,000. This thing is not wanting to descend. Oh, we're going to play this game. Okay. Well, we're going to give it a try. Here we come again.
2,500.
2,500.
Okay. Here we come.
Gear down.
Okay, working our way over to this missed approach point. That's where I'm going to take over and try and bring this one in this time. Boilers arm, flaps arm, cabins ready, signs on, lights, brakes, fans on. We're ready to go. We came in high last time, and I'm hoping by being, hopefully on profile, we'll be doing a lot better. Okay. Plane's mine, minus throttles. Slowing to 133.
Hundred above. Minimum.
Gears down, 3 green. Laps full.
One
1,000.
Feel like I'm in a better position.
Approaching 0, 1.
500.
500.
Okay, the pappies look good. Oh, you can see the slope.
400.
400.
300.
300.
200.
200.
100.
100.
50.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Retard.
10.
10. 5.
3,000 feet remaining.
All right. Well, we made it this time, folks. Not the prettiest of prettiest approaches, but you know, we'll be able to walk away from it, so it's not a bad landing.
On runway 19.
All right, let's taxi this thing in, shall we? Get off at A1 coming up here. Let's start, well, we can't really do a lot. Get the flaps up. Amazing little airport here. Wow, and I do want to stress little. Okay, so we're going to be looking for gate number 3, I think it is. Let me look at my cheat sheet. Gate 3. If I understand it right, it should be this one. Yep, straight ahead, and we'll turn for it. As soon as we clear, parking brake isn't setting anymore. Okay, so let's get that radar off. That's the big thing I want turned off before we come in there. Okay, go to TA, we'll go to standby on this. Flaps are up. Coming up. Brake fans are off, auto brakes are off. Get up top now and turn the PU master on. Waiting for flap open. Away we go. Oh, jeez. Feel like I'm back on La Palma, was it? The island out of Portugal where the gradients were unreal. Okay, we are into blocks, so let's get those lights all off. Right. Parking brake is confirmed set. Levers to idle. Since we're going to be unloading outside. Okay. Engine. Okay. And second here, folks. A couple things going on here that I'm a little concerned about. We're actually really concerned. Beacons off. Let's get this thing shut down. Brake fan already off. And we're good. Alright, we're not going to run the rewind here, folks. My laptop just fired an error that I was not happy to see. See if it fires back up. What I am going to try and do, I was really hoping to have that here, is head out here and, you know what, let's I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting scatterbrained here, and I hate when that happens. Okay, we got the pirate filed. Disconnected from VATSIM. We're going to go ahead, hang on. Wow, this is a nice airport at night. I don't, but yeah, we're going to take a look here and see if we can't, we're just going to go ahead and kind of call it a night. I'm not seeing anyone to raid. So, folks, thank you for flying with Mike. Sorry, it's been kind of a weird day. It's been a weird day here. We were supposed to get Winston to the dog groomer. Our dog here, he's 120 to 30 pound Mastiff. Most lovable, nice dog you'll ever see out there, folks. And he just, I mean, if you've ever can imagine, 4 feet out in front of his face, preventing him from going back to be, as I call it, foo-foo, to be groomed. He was not having it. So that put a kink in some of the stuff today. Then we just picked up an error on my laptop that's really got me concerned. And I've got to figure out, in case this one's starting to have troubles too, of a way around it. So, because I've got some important stuff on that I definitely need saved. So, but anyway, folks, that's my problems. You all were great. Appreciate that, Big Macus. That actually did turn into a pretty good landing. I at least get 2 or 3 out of it. Well, for a second I thought about it, but then I thought I think I got enough runway, and I saw how slow I was, so I went ahead and planted it. So, but yeah, that was folks, you want a challenge. This is the airport to come to for that challenge. 5,000, 5,500 foot runway, a little bit uphill. So I can't imagine coming in the other way with the rest of it being downhill. Yeah, it's a challenging airport nonetheless. So, but y'all have a great day. Thanks for flying with Mike. We really do appreciate y'all. And God bless y'all. Y'all have a great night. And we'll see you all hopefully on Friday.